Welcome to another edition of the Sabre Spotlight on the Marion Sports Network. I am Wade Bates, and right now we're going to be talking women's basketball with new head coach Christine Keller. Coach, you've been on the job for a couple of months. Just how's it been kind of moving one chair down the aisle on the Marion bench?
It's been pretty smooth, actually. Right now we're kind of just in the recruiting realm. Been traveling a lot in the last month. We'll be finishing that up at the end of this month, and then we'll start camps.
It's a new position for you, obviously, but you've been around the Marion campus. People have seen you around for a couple of years as an assistant to Lindsay Seawald, who steps aside. You're the head coach. Just your thoughts on being head coach here at Marion.
It's exciting. It's something that I've been working for. I've been coaching for the last 11 years, mostly in the high school realm, a couple years in the AAU realm, and that's just a place that I really wanted to be. I was excited when I got the assistant coaching job just to get my foot in the door. I didn't think it would become this soon, but I'm excited. So
you never know where life's past take you, right?
Exactly.
And here you are as the head coach. Before we talk about Marion a little bit, let's talk a little bit about your background. You played high school basketball at one of maybe the premier spots in the state of Wisconsin at Milwaukee Pius. Just kind of talk about maybe playing at Pius, and then you went on and played a little bit of college basketball before you ended up in the coaching ranks.
Yeah, so I played at Pius. I was on varsity for 3 years. It was probably one of the best experiences of my life. We obviously did have a really, really good team at the time. It was always strong in tradition. So I guess winning was always a kind of, jammed down your throat. It was just one of those things where we just did it. And then, so we won state 2 years there. And then I played a year at UW Milwaukee.
What is it like playing for a high school with such a rich tradition in the sport? You're playing high school girls basketball. Because Pius, when you talk about the Mount Rushmores of schools in the state when it comes to overall state championships, private and public, Pius has got to be right up there near the top. Just is that a special feeling when you're putting on that jersey? It
definitely is. I grew up watching them, so it was one of those things where it's like finally I'm there. I couldn't believe that was me now at that point. It was just always an honor to be able to wear a jersey with such rich tradition and play for them and do well for them.
Now, you come here as the head coach now at Marion. You mentioned 2 years as an assistant. And in the program, basically you and Coach Seawald had to basically have a reboot on the program when you came. I mean, from low numbers, just trying to get the program back started. What is your perspective on how the program has improved over the last couple of years?
I think the biggest thing for us was building a foundation. We only had 9 our first year, and it started with them, and they all bought into what we wanted to do and develop a program, and they knew it was going to start with them, and they took what we gave them and they ran with it. Granted, it was only 9. Sometimes we were down to 6 with injuries, but the biggest thing is we wanted to build a culture on basically family and community.
And that's one of those things you talk about that first season when you guys ended up with injuries in the women's team. You were literally, not figuratively, knocking on doors around campus trying to find some people and players to kind of fill out the back end of the roster, not only for games but more for practice, to be able to practice. And you guys did a great job of doing that.
Yeah. We had some help from the volleyball team, which was great. We had 2 players from the volleyball team who played in high school. It was like, yeah, we'll play. So they ended up helping us out for like couple weeks, and basically getting through those times where we had those injuries.
And your women have made huge strides when it comes to on the court as well. We'll talk about off the court maybe a little bit too, because they're very active in the community. But huge strides on the floor from that first year through last season. We've seen the Sabres be competitive with the top teams in the conference. And what do you attribute that to?
I think it's a lot of their hard work and dedication and buying into what we're teaching them. We had a lot of improvement in each year from the beginning to the end. I know when we played Benedictine, we lost to them by 40, which wasn't a fun game, and we played them at the end of the season, and I think we lost to them by 3. So they are improving every season.
When you look forward to this season, and we still have a few months till you roll the balls out, September, late October, mid-October or so for the season. Just what do you look to accomplish with your team? I know you can't have a lot of contact with your team now, but returning players, and then we'll talk about newcomers in a little bit.
Biggest thing is getting them on campus. They'll start their preseason stuff, and that's usually always led by the captains or the seniors. So they'll kind of be leading the way, which is nice because most of them have been here now for 2 years and kind of know what we've been doing, so I'm excited for them.
You have a big freshman class coming in as well that are signed up to come to Marion. Just how is it putting that class together?
It's a lot of new bodies, which is nice. We have 9 freshmen coming in, 1 transfer who's gonna be a sophomore. So they're all very, very young. They're excited to come, and they're very hungry to get going and kind of get within the culture. So,
Coach, when you sell Marion University, not only the basketball program but the university, what do you tell a prospective student athlete?
I think the biggest thing from me going from a bigger college, going to one and coming here, the biggest thing is family and community here, because everybody knows everybody. Your professors know you by name. People walking around, other athletes know you. That's the biggest thing here. And if it's not something that you want, then obviously this isn't the place for them. But that's a big thing that we have here, is that we're very close. We support each other, and I think that's the biggest thing on campus here.
Your staff is filled out. I know that you hired an assistant here recently that added to your program. Is your staff looking to talk about your new assistant that you've hired?
Yeah, Katie Golomsky graduated from Pius. I actually coached her for 1 year. She played in college, and she also was a grad assistant at another university for the last 3 years. So she has a lot of knowledge in basically the game, the recruiting, and how Division III works.
If people have watched the Sabres play in the last few seasons with you as the head coach, is there going to be much difference? Are they going to see basically a similar type of style, or what is your philosophy on that?
I think it will be a little different. I'm a little bit more technical, and I think we have now the personnel to do what we kind of wanted to do. In the past, we wanted to push the ball more of a transition team. We have the numbers definitely to do so. I think we're going to be very deep this year. So I think you'll see more of an up-tempo type game.
You mentioned being in the program, what you wanted to push the program not only on the court but off the floor. The Marion women's basketball team has been very active in the community and on the university heavily, and that's something that you really believe in, along with the previous staff?
Yes, that is something we're continuing to do. We've already got some things on the calendar for this year with United Way. The girls love it. We last year I think we hit up 7 different types of groups of what we did for volunteering, and that usually starts right when they get here all the way to the end of the school year.
And that's important as well, not only for the basketball program, but this is a well-rounded student athlete as well, to see the women buy into to not only doing things on the floor in the classroom, but also making an impact, which they have done here in the Fond du Lac community. I know you've run some games at the Special Olympics in the past, and you see the reaction to the people that come to watch a game and participate, and it's just a great feeling and a great time, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's definitely great, especially with the community like this, that it's a bigger population, but it feels like the small community, and getting more people involved and know about Marion. I think people are definitely starting to notice.
We talked a little bit before we went on the air here today. Do you have camps coming up, or have you run them already?
No, we have camps coming up.
When is coming up? Is in the near future? Are there still spots open for people, or is that registration closed?
Right now it's June 30th, so it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Next week, July 30th?
Yes, July 30th. I'm in the wrong month. July 30th, and we have 3rd through 5th and 6th through 8th. And then we will have our elite camp that Saturday, the August 4th. So
if people are maybe looking to get in, they're watching this before that time frame, can they check out sabreathletics.com and maybe find a way to get in some capacity?
Yeah, we do have a few spots open, basically for all levels. So if you want, you can go ahead and sign up.
And just again for you, great transition here from Coach Seawald to you, hopefully seamless. Just your thoughts on where Marion's going to be when you get ready for practice here in a couple months.
I think they're going to be ready. I think they've been working hard in the off season, and I'm excited.
When do student athletes arrive on campus? When do they return, especially like your freshman class?
They will come the Thursday before classes start, so they'll have basically all those Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of kind of different things for them to do here. So they start the last week in August. All the other kids start on that Monday.
And any prospective student athletes that may be interested in playing basketball, they can find your information at sabreathletics.com?
Yeah, definitely.
Send you an email, shout out, right?
Yep.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us. It's going to be fun watching the Sabres as you guys get ready, your women's team get ready for the upcoming season here. It's not that far away, Coach Keller.
No, it's not. It's not.
Marion women's basketball coach Christine Keller, thanks for joining us here on the Sabre Spotlight on the Marion Sports Network.